This is part two of the video. What's gonna do today? Let's do submit yourselves to God. James 4, continuing. Now let's talk about judging. Word slander, speak against, and judge mean the same thing in context. They refer to condemning someone publicly. To judge in a passion, not simply discern something as wrong, but right someone off, in this case, to do so openly. When we judge this man, we end up judging the law. So the law here refers either to Jesus' command not to judge or the royal law to love your neighbors. So the point is the same either way. Condemn your brother and sister. Brother sisters regard something Jesus himself taught. Who would be so bold, especially since God is only lawgiver and judger? So basically, it's saying don't judge hypocritically. If you know you got speck in your eye, get it out first, and then help that person get it out. Whoever's dealing with it, judge righteously. Don't judge condemnation, but judge in a way that encourages them to reprove them. And the Bible warns us about judging others is not forbidding the formation of critical opinions and about actions, ideas, or people in some parts of the church today. Jesus' warning against judging is something used to justify accepting behavior, and the Bible condemns. For instance, I wish I had a dollar every time I heard people say, "Who are we to say homosexuality is immoral?" Didn't Jesus say, "Do not judge, lest you be judged"? Reality is, the Bible urges us to assess the rightness, wrongness of certain teachings and practices. Judging, in this sense, is an important part of Christian living. The judgment that is condemned in the Bible is the type that seek the right people off for their failings. To elaborate on the previous example, not judging the gay community does not involve approving homosexuality behavior. It involves refusing to condemn or speak ill of our homosexual friends. Fulfilling about a biblical command not to judge involves recovering the lost virtue of tolerance, the rare ability to treat others with respect and kindness, someone whom you deeply violently disagree. When we have debates, conversations, we got to be respectful of that person's side. We cannot be disrespectful, or else or else that person is not going to be influenced or changed or impacted by that, or somewhat moved. They're just going to be stay the same, or even worse, go negatively, or yell you back. So be kind of respectful. That's what God calls us to be kind of respectful of others. And we should speak with grace and not always be condemning. Remember what Paul said about dads: raise your children up in the discipline of the Lord, but do not always scold them, basically, anyway. It says, James 4:11 through 12. Brothers and sisters, do not slander one another. Anyone who speaks against a brother or sister or judges that speaks against the law and judges it. When you judge the law, you are not keeping it, but sitting it in judgment on it. There's only one lawgiver and judge, the one who is able to save and destroy. But you who are you to judge your neighbor? Yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Basically, the whole message I would give: judge others righteously and learn to respect others, even though you don't feel like it, or you overlook some problems people have. But if they're like really big and you can't overlook it, that's fine. But if it's just small stuff that you can overlook, yeah, that's fine. But the thing is, love each other and respect, be kind, and don't scold people, and raise them up in discipline of the Lord. You guys will have a good night.